Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. So this is the maiden voyage with the Shoei RF 1400. Also, this new jacket, that Fly Strata jacket, I'll do a review on. It's like really stiff because it's new, but it also is like bunching up right at my chest here. Not sure what's up with that, but either way, I wanted to get out and test this Shoei RF 1400 as far as airflow went, and really be able to do a comparison to the RF 1200 that I've been riding with for well over a season, and the RFSR that I started riding with, that I rode through for a couple seasons. And right off the bat, I can say this is actually a super comfortable helmet. It's similar to the RF 1200 as far as feel. You know, I am going to be one of the only people I've seen so far that say that this actually fits me more comfortably than the 1200 did. Some people are saying it's a little bit snugger around the cheeks. You know, if it is, it's barely noticeable to me, and this just overall feels like a better fit in general. It's hard to explain, but it is more comfortable, and it's not just because I spent $500 on a new helmet that I'm saying that. I do try to keep these reviews in check as much as I can, from a perspective of you know, somebody that might be spending money as well. Gotta figure out what's up with this jacket. I do like this jacket, but it is bunching on me. This is actually an outer layer that's like a windbreaker. It's actually really nice, but it's real stiff. But the RF 1400, I can say, you notice the field of view quite a bit better than what the old version was. Also, face shields. I mentioned in my last video I reached out to Shoei. They will have the transitions and a dark smoke in February, March, they said. They're coming. Now, this was something I was interested in checking as well, is gauges. People kind of complain sometimes with the RF 1400 and the RFSR that in an upright riding position like this, that you can't see the gauges. Now, it's really hard for you guys to see. Obviously, you can't see what I can see, but if I am riding just like this, I can see the top of the gauge right here just by looking down without moving my head. I can see basically from 50 to 90 in that range there. So in my old helmet, I could not see that without really actually looking down. So I can tell that the field of view has increased in the RF 1400. Now, as far as ventilation goes, I'll get into that in a minute. I'm gonna have to stop and get off and get gas here. Let's go get some of that top tier Costco gasoline for the bike. Oh, I didn't even have the visor locked in for that whole ride. It is something that's going to take a minute to get used to, but battery's getting low. I think it's about time to replace a battery on this bike too, which makes sense. It's been a couple seasons. I can just toss this rain layer, or outer windbreaker rain layer, in the saddlebag and run with just the mesh jacket. Alright, so we shed the outer layer. Now it doesn't bunch up nearly as much at the chest, which is good to know, because this is how I'll ride with this jacket 99% of the time. So there we are, fresh gasoline. That's face shield is locked down. So this RF 1400 with that locking face shield is new. It used to actually have, I believe it was on this side, just a little piece that you would put your thumb under and pop the visor up, and now it locks, which it's not a big deal. It's something that takes getting used to, but once you know where that is, I'm guessing like anything that becomes second nature. Some people say they don't like that. I personally don't care too much. Like I said, those are just adjustments, things you got to get used to. I didn't notice really a big noise difference. It's not worse, but what I did feel like I noticed more with the RF 1400 than I did with the SR and the 1200 is a general less wind buffeting on the highway. Even at 60 miles an hour here, you know, my old helmet, I used to feel a little bit more buffeting, like almost right at the top of the helmet. You'd feel it kind of push you around a little bit, and with this one I don't. Now, I would have expected the either weight of the helmet or overall fitment, or even maybe sound level in the helmet to be the thing that I was ranting and raving about, but right now, and I will verify as I get back up on the highway here, that I just genuinely feel like I have less buffeting. Now, there's some people who buy these Heritages with this windscreen that will tell you the buffeting is just out of control for them and they hated it. And I don't have that. That's all subjective. That's all based on your overall size and basically where your head falls on that windscreen. And for me, I've never had a huge problem, but it is there. I'd be lying if I said I didn't notice it. So with this setup, it's kind of surprising me that I just genuinely feel as if the wind buffeting is less. How the fuck do I get back on the highway? Why is there no entrances over here? Oh, it's I got it. It'll be down here a little bit, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm at 70 miles an hour and I feel significantly less buffeting in this helmet. And I was not expecting that to even be anything that I would talk about, because typically, you know, obviously on a cruiser, it has nothing to do with like clean airflow coming up over the bike, and you know, it's all dirty air or whatever you want to call it. However, it's coming up over the windscreen, and then how the air is equalizing behind it, combined with your size. And I did not anticipate this helmet making any sort of difference in that whatsoever, but it seems like it is. I mean, they talk about aerodynamics and improvements in the single-digit percents improvements, and in all reality, I would say that would be something nobody would ever notice, but it might be very well the most noticeable thing that I've seen with this helmet so far. Alright, there's a little bit of that buffeting that I was talking about. So it's still there a little bit, but all in on this bike at 80 miles an hour, I am telling you that I feel, yeah, I feel less bobble. This is coming from a bobblehead. I have said in my last video, I have a giant noggin. This is an XXL helmet, so there's plenty there for the wind to catch. Let's not catch this piece of drywall to the teeth. So ventilation, all the vents are open. If I close them off, I mean, it vents nice. It's better than the 1400. Similar to the RF. Oh, hey there, police motorcycle on the side of the highway taking radar. If there's anybody to pull over, it's somebody else, don't get me. But all in, yeah, this helmet is super comfortable. Fit and finish on this 1400, it's exactly what I thought it would be. I got the Bluetooth communicator on here. People complain that it's too hard to do. I didn't see a huge problem with it. Just be careful, I guess you'd say, but all in, it really wasn't that difficult. I don't think that is any sort of deterrent from picking up this RF 1400. I'll link it in the description down below, and I'll link all the motovlogging stuff that I use in the description down below. But yeah, in all reality, I don't see any reason why the communicator, this is a Cardo Pack Gold, would be a limiting factor in buying this helmet at all. Matter of fact, this is by far the most comfortable helmet that I've owned. Now the RFSR, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, is a very worthy contender for anybody looking for a helmet. The RF 1200, it's like $10 difference between the 1200 and the 1400. I don't see a single benefit to going to the 1200, aside from maybe if you like that visor flip a little bit better. As far as this being easy to open, you kind of got to find where that little button is, but I can pop it open. There's not really any time that I'm like, oh, I need to open my visor, like in a panic. So this is just a tactical kind of thing, or a tactile kind of thing. You have to just kind of figure out, oh, okay, there's that center nub, there's the button, I can pop it up. Trying to come at it from down here, you're like, oh, I can't really figure out where I'm at. Yeah, just find that little nub and the button's right there. You push it in, and that's how she works. Yeah, this helmet is awesome. I love it. I've only ridden a few miles with it, but I can tell that I will get many riding seasons out of this. Come back to my channel when it's August and I'm riding when it's 110 degrees outside, because that will be a much larger challenge for determining the ventilation. I'll probably at that point revisit riding with the RFSR and the RF 1200, and then comparing them both to the 1400. I didn't see any purpose of doing that as it's 70 degrees outside right now, to maybe compare which one's hotter or not. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. See you guys next time. Also, face shields. I mentioned in my last video I reached out to Shoei. Right now you can only use the clear that comes with it, because they do not have any of these CWR F2s, which is a new visor in dark smoke or any tint. They will have the transitions and a dark smoke in February, March, they said. So, or was it March, April? But they're coming. I will switch over to the transitions lens for sure. So, just wanted to throw that in there.